Sometimes the hardest person to believe in is yourself, but that's exactly where healing begins. Hey guys, welcome back to Mind Over Miller. I'm really glad you're here. If you listened to episode 2, we talked about the pressure to compare ourselves, to show up like everyone else, perform like everyone else, and feel like we're constantly falling short if we don't. It was honest, raw, and if you've ever felt like you're too much or not enough all at once, I hope it made you feel less alone. Today's episode is a natural step because once you spend enough time comparing yourself to others, it can start to chip away at something even deeper, your ability to trust yourself. And that's what we're talking about today, rebuilding self trust. I think it's something so many of us lose or forget at some point, and it can feel confusing, scary, or even impossible to get back. It's one of those things you don't always notice is missing until you realize how much you miss feeling safe with yourself. Not just confident, not just secure, but safe. The kind of safety that comes from believing your inner voice is worth listening to, that your thoughts are valid, your gut instincts are strong, and your feelings aren't something to second guess, fix, or filter. Just recently, a listener sent me a message that really stuck with me. They said, I feel like I've gotten so good at pretending I'm fine that I forgot how I actually feel. I miss trusting myself, but I don't even know where to begin. Man, that hit hard. I know the feeling well. The numbness, the doubt, the sense that the person you once were feels distant or like a stranger. Sometimes it's not even a loss of identity. It's just that you stopped checking in. You stopped listening. You got quiet in rooms where you used to speak up. You said, I'm fine, so many times it started to feel true, even when it wasn't. And now coming back to yourself feels like trying to remember a song you used to love but haven't heard in years. The melody is there, it's just faint. You hum a little, you pause, you try again, but something in you still remembers. Let's sit with that feeling together. Let's talk about what losing self trust looks like, why comparison makes it worse, and some gentle ways we can rebuild it together. One little moment at a time, without shame or doubt. Let's do this slowly, softly, like a friend helping you find your way home. Part 1, The Quiet Drift. Losing trust in yourself doesn't always come with a dramatic moment. It's not always a loud crash or a breaking point. Sometimes it's a quiet drift away from yourself that sneaks in so slowly you don't even notice. It's saying yes when you really mean no, because it's easier or less complicated. It's checking Google for every little decision instead of trusting your gut. It's ignoring your own needs so often that you don't even remember what they are anymore. It's slowly replacing your inner voice with external noise. And suddenly, the voice inside you that used to speak clearly, it starts to whisper. And then it goes quiet altogether. I've been there. I still find myself slipping there sometimes. We all do. Even the most grounded, self aware people I know sometimes lose their footing. But I also learned that coming back is possible. It doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, sometimes frustrating, but it's real. Coming back means giving yourself permission to pause, to turn down the noise, to notice the moment you over explain, to catch yourself apologizing for something you didn't even do. It starts by noticing when you're not feeling right, even if it's just a small flicker, and choosing to listen to it instead of pushing it away. That flicker matters. It's not too small, it's not too late. It's the beginning of remembering yourself again. Part 2, Comparison makes it worse. One of the biggest challenges to trusting yourself is comparison. It's like a sneaky thief that robs you of your own voice, and it's so quiet you don't even realize it's happening. When you look at others, friends, strangers on social media, even people you know, and you see them moving faster, doing more, looking happier, it's easy to feel like you're behind or off track. You start to think their way is better or more correct, even if deep down you know your way felt right before. You start shrinking your instincts to make room for someone else's blueprint. It's not always loud or obvious, sometimes it's subtle. A scroll here, a comment there. You catch yourself thinking, they seem so sure of themselves. Why don't I feel that way? And just like that, your self trust takes another hit. That comparison doesn't just steal your joy, it steals your clarity. It blurs your vision of who you really are and what you need. It rewrites your timeline, redirects your path, and causes you to doubt the very things that once made sense to you. I want you to remember your path is yours, it's unique, and trusting yourself means embracing your own pace, your own timing, your own feelings, even when they don't look like anyone else's, especially when they don't. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is take a slower route, to move in silence, to go inward, to say, this might not look shiny or impressive, but it's true for me. Part 3. What rebuilding self trust actually looks like. Rebuilding self trust doesn't have to be huge or perfect. It's often quiet, simple, and soft. It might look like saying no to something and really letting that no be enough without over explaining or feeling guilty. It can mean waiting before you ask for advice or opinions, just to hear what you think first. It's checking in with your body and emotions. How does this choice feel? Am I comfortable? Am I at peace? Or am I tense? It's choosing rest even when productivity is calling. It's recognizing when you're people pleasing and gently asking yourself, what do I actually want? It's journaling your thoughts before starting them with someone else just to see what's real for you first. It's being honest when you're not okay. It's changing your mind and not punishing yourself for it. It's trusting that if something doesn't feel right, you don't need a PowerPoint presentation to justify it. It's about showing up for yourself in small ways again and again, making small promises, keeping them, messing them up, recommitting, showing up again. Because trust isn't built in a single moment, it's built over time, one honest choice at a time, one tiny act of alignment, and slowly, beautifully, it adds up. Part 4. If you're starting over, here's a gentle place to begin. If you're tuning in and feeling like you don't know where to start, or if you're far from trusting yourself, I want you to know you're not broken. You're not lost forever. You haven't failed. You can start again. You can reconnect. You can rebuild. It doesn't matter how far you've drifted. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need a starting point. Maybe it's just one small thing this week. Make a promise to yourself and keep it, no matter how tiny. Write down how your body feels after saying yes to something and how it feels after saying no. Pause before reacting to a situation and ask yourself what you really want or need. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend going through the same thing. And if that still feels like too much, then just start by noticing. Notice when you feel out of alignment. Notice when you're not okay. And give yourself permission to not fix it all at once. You don't have to fix everything. You don't need a full plan. One small step, that's it. That's enough to begin. That question from the listener, I miss trusting myself, but I don't know where to start. If you feel that too, you're in really good company. So many of us feel the same way. And just like that listener, who was brave enough to say the quiet part out loud, maybe your words will be a mirror for someone else too. I'd love to hear from you. Where have you felt disconnected from your own voice recently? What's one small way you're trying to rebuild trust with yourself? Send me a DM or comment under the episode post. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. You never know who you're helping just by being honest. If you're joining the Sip and Stream Challenge this week, just a quick reminder. Follow the podcast on Spotify, listen all the way through the episode, take a screenshot, and tag me on TikTok or Instagram to enter the giveaway. You could win a Stanley Ice Flow cup filled with water packets and some self-care treats. It's just my little way to say thank you for being here and listening. So wherever you're at, whether you're just starting to notice you drifted from yourself, or you're in the thick of trying to trust yourself again, you have permission to rebuild, to pause, and to come back home to yourself over and over. Not because you owe it to anyone else, but because you deserve to feel safe with yourself again. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve trust, especially your own. And in the meantime, take care of yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. You're doing better than you think. And I'm so proud of you for being here.